You're listening to Dave Bedford on the Liverpool Podcast. Randolph Peter Best was born in India in 1941 to British parents. John Best, his father, was in the army as a fitness instructor and expert in boxing and martial arts. He met Mona, the daughter of a British officer. Mona was trained to be a nurse when they met, and they married in India. Both Pete and his brother Rory were born out in India, and then the Best family came home on the last troop ship from India in Christmas 1945, and they settled eventually into a small semi in Queen's Court Road, West Derby. Mona became a really strong influence on the family and started house hunting for a larger house, though her husband didn't agree to even view the potential homes. When Mona came across the large Conservative Party's HQ in Hayman's Green, West Derby, she fell in love with it and had to have it. Her husband, John, disagreed. Having no money of her own, Mona had to do something, so she took her expensive jewellery to the pawnbroker and cashed it in. She then took the money to the betting shop and, being a bit of a gambler, decided to put the money on a horse in the Derby. She liked the name of an outsider called Never Say Die, at odds of 33-1. Nobody'd even heard of its young jockey, a guy called Lester Piggott. Well, of course, the horse won. Lester Piggott got his first win, and Mona had the money to buy her dream house at 8 Hayman's Green. Her family have always said that she had second sight, had visions, and made decisions that no one else would dare take. Mona then decided to open the basement of her house as a coffee club, a rock and roll club, the first of its type in Liverpool. The Casbah became the focal point of Merseybeat music, and every big Merseybeat band played there. Mona then took over managing the Beatles between Christmas 1960 and December 1961, when Brian Epstein succeeded her. She held parties for her favourite band members, who would sit at her feet and listen to her stories. She was a spiritual woman who was influenced by different religions. She believed in karma, feng shui, had a Buddha in the house as well as a crucifix. She opened the minds of her audience, especially John, Paul and George. She was like no other mother that they knew. She understood the young people and became a mother figure to them. George in particular took on board what Mona was saying. Mona's influence was everywhere in Hayman's Green. George loved the giant Buddha in the hallway, but it was the stories of the Indian religions that George responded to. Even though John, Paul and George sacked Pete Best from the Beatles, they were still welcome in her house when they were famous. And for Mona, that was forgiveness at its best.